The voice of sharing 旅人阿香
ASEAN Dailies.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Durian ASEAN,
Asia.
the voice of discovery and sharing. Now you're at our first segment of ABC, which is ASEAN Dailies, where we deliver news from Southeast Asia. Well, let's start with the ASEAN news that ASEAN should relook its non-interference policy. And this is according to Tun Dr Mahathir from Malaysia says. So speaking at the international conference entitled Plight of the Rohingya Part 2, Crime Against Humanity, which also yesterday we commented on Dr. Mahathir's comments on the perhaps Myanmar should reconsider being a part of ASEAN. Well, in addition to that, he also mentioned that this non-interference policy had proven to be the hindrance in finding solution to the plight of minority ethnic group in Myanmar. And we are talking about this Rohingya group community, which they left at the boat for more than a couple of months at sea of shouting out for their thirst and hungers, and also as well as for help for sure. And he also says ASEAN has decided that it will not interfere in the internal affairs of member states. In Cambodia, back in 1970s, when 2 million of its people were killed for no reason, what did ASEAN do? And that was another question. Where is the ASEAN voice as one voice from all the 10 member states? As well as what are the solutions to when it comes to highlight the issues regarding this minority, as well as that relates to human rights in Southeast Asia. And it was also said, we said it was not our business. We stood by and did nothing. And now it is happening in Myanmar, and we are still very quiet. Which he expressed his concern over the issues over Myanmar issues, especially this Rohingya. The idea of this non-interference, Dr. Mahathir stressed, and also should have its limitations as well. We should not interfere in matters of politics and internal affairs. Is such that there should be a limit to what constitute internal affairs. Killing people is not something we should tolerate. Well, just because Myanmar do not want to have a certain minority groups in the country, and that has led a lot of controversial issues regarding killing them, also not giving the right to those community, and they don't have even a right to build up the family or having their own religions or do whatsoever within their own rights. But all the rights are taken away by the government. And looking at the situation from ASEAN perspectives, a lot of people have been raising the question of where is ASEAN? Where is the ASEAN way? Where is our voices? Do we even have the sense of belonging to ASEAN? So perhaps this was also heard by the Dr. Mahathir, and he expressed his concerns. And in addition to that, Myanmar must be told to stop the killings, or if it wants, it can leave ASEAN. Well, that was what we commented yesterday at ASEAN Dailies, and this is another concern that was expressed. Well, countries like Myanmar give ASEAN a bad name. We are the group of countries that believe in cooperation and not genocides. And in addition to that, well, he also says Myanmar had no right to be recognized as a part of ASEAN, and that's very going a sort of extreme opinion in this. Dr. M, who is also president of event organizer, the Perdana Global Peace Foundation, said he had previously written to Myanmar President Aung San Suu Kyi asking her to stop the killings, but we are still waiting for the reply. Well, the fate of Rohingya really lies on the Myanmar, but at the same time, ASEAN as a whole, one community, needs to be able to come up with at least a mechanism or solution or even the policies that we can step in to help out all these Rohingya and also any other minority groups in Southeast Asia. Well, moving on to Vietnam, regarding this South China Sea challenge. Apparently, Myanmar models South China Sea challenge for a long time. And in fact, China's recently revealed this massive land reclamation activity South China Sea by building lots of buildings and as well as just to claim that it's their territory. And that represents a particular threat to rival claimant Vietnam's strategic position and also interests as well. So factional competition ahead of next year's Communist Party National Congress, where 5-year plans, policies, and leadership positions are determined, has complicated Hanoi's ability to devise the coherent and also credible response to the maritime area's increasingly complex geopolitics. And also recent reports to this long time issues, South China Sea. There's a report on China's island building have heralded a strategic shift, one that aims to extend its traditional offshore waters defense to open seas protection. And also this appears to be aimed at creating military facilities, including around 3 kilometers runway capable of handling fighters' jets that could be employed to claim the airspace over South China Sea by declaring an air defense identification zone once the runway is finished. So it looks like China has been very forceful and also quite aggressive coming to South China Sea to claim that this is their territory. Well, although largely geared for anti-ship operations, Vietnamese Navy and also Air Force are already severely outgunned and also outnumbered by China's People's Liberation Army. And those qualitative and quantitative differences have widened in recent years. Well, as China has bolstered its naval capacities and reach. So basically, Vietnam has scrambled to procure and also integrate enough vessels, mainly Russian submarines, and also to create a credible deterrent force as well. Just by building all these buildings and even going for the Navy forces, China is really working even harder. Perhaps we shouldn't use the words working. Perhaps they are just really pressuring and then push forward to claim that this is their land. And it comes with a lot of strategic mechanism and also a lot of plans. And a Chinese Air Force presence would provide a new, perhaps a proximal platform to target Vietnam's naval control, shore-based artillery, and also missile systems. And this is also viewed by many strategic analysts as Hanoi's strongest deterrent to a potential Chinese attack. So it is just getting worse and worse, the tension, not only between China and Vietnam, but also China and ASEAN as overall is getting quite tensed. And it is something that ASEAN, again, as a whole community, need to come up with a solution, not just watching the fight or arguments between the one country and also the other. It is something that we have to come up, because once the South China Sea is claimed by China, that's it. ASEAN will lose the power to China again. And that will be bringing a lot of concerns and also worrisome from citizens of ASEAN overall. Moving to next news, which is regarding Japan. Japan engages and also hoping for the proactive ASEAN. Well, even when Philippines is trying to put together the foreign policy that takes into consideration the realities on the ground, the national security strategy, and also hopefully that redefines the country as more maritime than archipelagic, and the need for the countervailing forces in the light of China's aggression is a step towards the maintaining this balance in the region. So Japan is hoping, and also as well as South Korea and also India, these three countries in the continent, the region, and also they are looking forward to seeing the proactive side of ASEAN in general. Well, Japan is very crucial and also very important, while ASEAN is recalibrating due to the integration of member states that is known as AEC, ASEAN Economic Community, by the end of this year. And it is also very important that Japan also has a border dispute with the Republic of Korea and China. So geologically, it's very close by, and the Republic of Korea, the dispute pertains to Takeshima. It is located in the Sea of Japan, also is a part of Okinoshima town of Shimane Prefecture, and the total land mass is up to 0.21 km, and it is primarily comprised of 2 islands. So these are the also rocked island made of the volcanic rock with the little vegetarian or drinking water. And China and Taiwan, on the other hand, began to claim this land over this Senkaku after a discovery of potential oil reserve in the East China Sea. Well, so those are all those just facts regarding the territory. But two important developments that happen as Japan gets more involved in the region. These are the perhaps the new guidelines for the Japan and U.S. defense cooperation, as well as the Japan legislation for peace and security. So this legislation for peace and security took root perhaps it was in the July 2014, and also it is on the development of the seamless security legislation to ensure the Japan's survival and to protect its people as well. So this went further to discussion in the government and also ruling coalition debate in the Parliament of Japan, and also submission of drafted legislation due to this Parliament Japan for its deliberation last May 2015. So just to go back to a little bit of a history of ASEAN, it was born in 1967 with 5 founders: Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand. And now Japan wants to see a more proactive side of ASEAN. And ASEAN also offers another venue in the balancing act with China. That ASEAN-centered framework for regional cooperation has been working from ASEAN Regional Forum, and also we need to reclaim the diplomatic skill and also the neighboring countries' respect in the international stage to forge the working agreement with China. We just shortly commented about regarding South China Sea, but here again it relates to what's been going around, especially this one of the big issues regarding the South China Sea. We need to put the resolution together to respond to the changing environment we find ourselves in. We still need to feel the sense of belonging, and not only the Vietnams or even any other neighboring countries which are involved in the South China Sea. It's not only their concerns, but we have to be able to bring out to make sure that this is ASEAN's concern and to come up as a one community. So we'll take a short break here, and when we come back, we'll deliver news on the business and also economic side of Southeast Asia. You're listening to Drian Asia, the voice of discovery and sharing, and now you're at Daily Knowledge, brought to you by Drian Asia as well as ASAP Science. Look for them ASAP Science on YouTube/ASAP Science for more details, and subscribe to their channels.
With social media sites being used by 1/3 of the entire world, they've clearly had a major influence on society. But what about our bodies? Here are 5 crazy ways that social media and the internet are affecting your brain right now. Can't log off? Surprisingly, 5 to 10% of internet users are actually unable to control how much time they spend online. Though it's a psychological addiction as opposed to a substance addiction, brain scans of these people actually show a similar impairment of regions that those with drug dependence have. Specifically, there's a clear degradation of white matter in the regions that control emotional processing, attention, and decision-making. Because social media provides immediate rewards with very little effort required, your brain begins to rewire itself, making you desire these stimulations, and you begin to crave more of this neurological excitement after each interaction. Sounds a little like a drug, right? We also see a shift when looking at multitasking. You might think that those who use social media or constantly switch between work and websites are better at multitasking, but studies have found that when comparing heavy media users to others, they perform much worse during task switching tests. Increased multitasking online reduces your brain's ability to filter out interferences and can even make it harder for your brain to commit information to memory. Like when your phone buzzes in the middle of productive work. Or wait, did it even buzz? Phantom vibration syndrome is a relatively new psychological phenomenon where you think you felt your phone go off, but it didn't. In one study, 89% of test subjects said they experienced this at least once every 2 weeks. It would seem that our brains now perceive an itch as an actual vibration from our phone. As crazy as it seems, technology has begun to rewire our nervous system, and our brains are being triggered in a way they never have before in history. Social media also triggers a release of dopamine, the feel-good chemical. Using MRI scans, scientists found that the reward centers in people's brains are much more active when they're talking about their own views as opposed to listening to others. Not so surprising, we all love talking about ourselves, right? But it turns out that while 30 to 40% of face-to-face conversations involve communicating our own experiences, around 80% of social media communication is self-involved. The same part of your brain related to orgasms, motivation, and love are stimulated by your social media use, and even more so when you know you have an audience. Our body is physiologically rewarding us for talking about ourselves online. But it's not all so self-involved. In fact, studies on relationships have found that partners tend to like each other more if they meet for the first time online rather than with a face-to-face interaction. Whether it's because people are more anonymous or perhaps more clear about their future goals, there's a statistical increase in successful partnerships that started online. So while the internet has changed our verbal communication with increased physical separation, perhaps the ones that matter the most end up even closer. Speaking of social media, we had you ask us questions on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, Google+, and every other social platform we could find, and did a Q&A video over on ASAP Thought. So if you feel like getting some insider info on ASAP Science and behind the scenes, check it out with the link in the description. Got a burning question you want answered? Ask it in the comments or on Facebook and Twitter. We also finally got a P.O. box for all of you amazing science lovers who have requested to send us mail or other stuff over the years. And we'd love to hear from all of you, so feel free to use the address on the screen or in the description box. And subscribe for more weekly science videos.
ASEAN is your #1 radio station for anything and everything concerning ASEAN. Since Malaysia is the chairman of ASEAN 2015, that makes it even more important for us to know the significance of ASEAN. Our daily breakfast show, the ASEAN Breakfast Call, is dedicated to raising awareness on ASEAN. Let's go through our breakfast show.
ASEAN Daily happens every Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock in the morning, with at least 3 cups of coffee. We discuss, critique, and provide a concise background to the issues that are discussed. Want to know what's brewing in ASEAN? Tune into ASEAN Daily.
Monday Morning Matters is solely dedicated to ASEAN issues. Want to know more about the 10 member states? What is the AEC? What is its aim and purposes? We have all the answers for you.
The Durian Hit runs from Tuesday to Thursday at 9 a.m. We analyze hot relevant topic concerning Malaysia or Southeast Asia. We also do invite some experts and drill them on the matter, leaving no stone unturned. Topics range from politics, economic, business, and other important areas.
Anything can happen Friday. ASEAN is rich in art, history, tradition, and culture. So we explore the socio-cultural part of Southeast Asia. Expect to hear from musicians, theatre practitioners, fashion designers, and lifestyle experts providing their insights on the topic. To listen to all our programs, just log on to www.duranasean.com. You can download the TuneIn app on your smartphone. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or subscribe to our YouTube channel.
You're now listening to Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing.
ASEAN Dailies. First and the foremost news from Southeast Asia. Welcome back to Durian ASEAN. You're with Grace at ASEAN Dailies. And this section, we're delivering the business side of Southeast Asia. So apparently, jobs outlook better than elsewhere in the region than Singapore. Well, the look for job in the next 3 months appears pretty brighter and sunnier in the other parts of Asian Pacific region than in Singapore. Although the labor market here will stay very tight. Employers are very jumpy about where the economic is going in the months ahead, and also still remains cautious about the hiring new staff. So the latest Manpower Employment Outlook Survey report released, which was just yesterday, indicated that the hiring prospects in Singaporean in the third quarter will stay relatively stable against the second quarter, and also dipped about 6 percentage points from a year ago. So the quarterly report was produced by US-based recruitment from Manpower Group, which surveyed around 59,000 employers across 42 countries and territories globally. And a person from Manpower Group, who is a country manager in Singapore, Linda Teo, said Singapore businesses are still guarded amid a pessimistic economic outlook. Widespread restructuring is still sending shock waves across the board, with the reverberations echoing from the tightening labor market as well. And also Taiwan, with a net employment outlook of plus 42% for a third quarter, continued to have brightest employment prospects, not only Asian Pacific, but also globally. And there is a decline in Australia's mining and the construction industry, which has hit employers' confidence in the country. And it is also according to the same report. And on the other hand, New Zealand's economic downturn was even more severe. And talking about India also remained a hot market for jobs, with a net employment outlook for plus 37% for third quarter, even after the 4 straight quarters of gradual decline. So basically, prospects are quite bright for job seekers in the industry sectors and regions, but employers continue to be frustrated by the scarcity of essential skill sets, while particularly in their efforts to recruit for the wide variety of technical and also professional roles. And going to Japan, which was reported a net employment outlook of plus 23%, and then it's the strongest quarterly job outlook since first quarter in 2008, and after 4 consecutive quarters of the improvement. So demand for the talents still remains quite solid across the most of its industrial sections, and also robust in the mining of construction sector as well. However, with the working age population declining at more than 1% per year, employers continue to be challenged by a shrinking labor force. And talking about China's net employment outlook for this third quarter was the same as Singapore at plus 13%. So like Singapore, it is going through the economical transition with a shift to more service-based economy. So business optimism here has started to show signs of recovery, as well as projections in all industry sectors and regions improved 3 months ago. And in Singapore, despite less than the upbeat business sentiment, the staffing levels are still tipped to grow in 6 of the 7 sectors in the next 3 months. And also all the services sector, which has a net employment outlook of a plus 24%, it is also projected to post the strongest growth in jobs. And also finance, insurance, and real estate is also likely to see good job growth, with the net employment outlook of plus 22%, and the public and administration and the education sector has a net employment outlook of plus 14%. And another industry that we can look at is the manufacturing sector, which is expected to still underperform in the employment growth in the third quarter. And also a wholesale trade and a retail trade, which reported uncertain hiring intentions, is the only sector tipped for the fall in the number of jobs in the third quarter. So those are the bit of analysis regarding the jobs outlook, not only in Singapore, but then the neighboring countries as well. And to continue to talk about the economic and the business part of Southeast Asia, Singapore and Thailand economic ties to be strengthened. So these two countries want to deepen their economic relations and also promote greater business-to-business cooperations in the coming years. And it is also mentioned by the Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong and following the retreat with his Thai counterpart Prayut Chan-o-cha. So it was spoken during the meeting, and Mr. Lee hailed the strong economic ties between their two nations, and with the bilateral trade having grown steadily over the last decade to reach about 30 billion Singaporean dollars. And Thailand was in fact Singapore's 9th largest trading partner last year, and Singapore is now the second largest foreign investor, and it was its top investor from Southeast Asia in 2013. So basically, Singapore's total investment in Thailand reached around 18.9 Singaporean dollars billions at the end of 2013. So it was also mentioned by Mr. Lee saying that I hope we'll do more and our companies will find fresh opportunities to invest and to work with another. So at this joint press conference, Mr. Prayut said that both Singapore and Thailand had a potential to expand the bilateral trade as well as investment cooperations. So the relationship between Thailand and Singapore looks very bright and also positive when it comes to economic and the business relationship. And in fact, he invited business in the Singapore private sector to invest in designated special economic zones along the border areas between Thailand and its neighboring countries, as well as in various infrastructure projects on transport and logistics in Thailand. And among the highlights of the meeting, one of which was revised agreement containing improved terms for the avoidance of double taxation on income earned in one country by the residents of the other. So this double taxation agreement, which was linked by Law and Foreign Minister K. Shanmugam and the Thai Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister Thanasak Patiman Pragum, replaced the one signed which was in 1975. So these two governments also signed an agreement to cruise tourism with the aim of having more sailings to tap on the growing demands for cruises in the region. And also there was a talk regarding the manufacturing industries. This is to work together to strengthen business relations as well as promote economic cooperations between their organizations as well. So this looks quite positive, as well as they also touched on the political situation in the country. In Thailand, Mr. Prayut thanked Mr. Lee and also Singapore government for their understanding and the confidence in the political and economic stability of Thailand. And this news is mainly brought from the Business Times. And then we'll move on to the next topic, which is between the Singapore and Brunei. And apparently Brunei is quite happy with the currency agreement, that the currency peg will remain despite the fluctuations in the Singapore dollar. And also Mr. Lee Hsien Loong said Singapore is not pushing for the DPEG from the Brunei, as both sides are happy with the currency interchangeability agreement. And it is an agreement between two countries that has lasted for more than 40 years now. So they are very happy with it. And also the Brunei government, as far as it is concerned, it is very happy with it. So they don't see any particular push from either side to want to change it yet. And he is also responding to a question from the Brunei Times that ASEAN journalists invited by the meeting by the Singapore Ministry of Communications Information at the Istana, that Brunei and Singapore currency is stable and useful to Brunei as well. It is useful to Brunei because that gives you the peg, and also you don't have to manage your own, which is very big overhead for a small country to do as well. So right now, it is pretty low against US dollar, and it is high against the euro. And it is against the other currencies as well. But it is a stable exchange rate if they can look at overall. So that's it for the business and economic side of Southeast Asia. Stay tuned for the last segment of ASEAN Daily. ASEAN Dailies. First and foremost news from Southeast Asia. Welcome back to Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing. And you're at the ASEAN Dailies, where we deliver news from Southeast Asia. And we are at the last segment of ASEAN Dailies, where we'll talk about the social-cultural part of ASEAN region. So Brunei Pharmaceutical plant launches first range of halal supplements. So Simpor Pharma SND Berhad, the first pharmaceutical plant in Brunei, launched its initial range of halal health supplements. It was just opening of the third ASEAN Consumer Fair. And these health supplements, which are being marketed under this SB brand, including omega-3 fish oil, as well as other turmeric soft gels as well. And they're targeting this halal market as well. And the executives said that the company will first develop the local market for its products before venturing overseas. And also, in addition to that, we definitely have plans to expand and export, but our main focus now is the local audience. We want the brand to be recognized in the country as a top brand of health supplements. And then Jack Sim, who is the Simpor Pharma's spokesman, he said SB products will soon be distributed nationwide as well. And apart from using this ACF as testing ground for the company's first batch of products, it was also said that it will take opportunity to raise health awareness in the certainty as well. In other countries, people do take health supplements daily, but we find it to be sometimes it's a bit hard to find in the Brunei. There is not much awareness on the benefits of the product, such as fish oil and vitamin E. And so their goal is to make people realize that they need to take care of their health. And you can visit their website as well as to look for what are the benefits that they can get from by taking all the supplements. And they are getting the public to test their health drinks before they can actually manufacture them for the public. And from their response, they will know the changes need to make, and also to ensure that the customers are healthy and also safe with their products. And then moving on to the Cambodia. Cambodia is to promote dental tourism. So with medical tourism being quite a success story for many Asian countries, Cambodia is also stepping up to seek the share of this by promoting dental tourism. So many new dental clinics have opened in the Phnom Penh and also other cities over the past 2 years. And they are really attracting the interest of this growing number of medical tourists from Japan, Australia, and as well as the Middle East. So prices are basically quite low with Phnom Penh and based in the dental clinic that offering the root canal treatment, and also the price is quite comparably quite low than USA and European countries. So one of the largest dental clinic in the country, which is the Rumchang Dental and Aesthetic Hospital, with 100 staff, and others in the city include the long-established European Dental Clinic, the Sakal Dental Clinic, the Sok Chi Dental Clinic, as well as Pancham Dental Clinic, and some of them also have the branches in Siem Reap and also other districts, and both are very prime tourist destinations as well. So according to the country's Ministry of Health, there are 20 clinics in Phnom Penh that operates in accordance with the international standards with appropriate ISO certifications, and also have many of their dentists trained abroad, mainly in Europe, Japan, Australia, or New Zealand. And some foreign dentists are also opening their own dental clinics in Cambodia as well. So this biggest market targeted is people who used to go to Bangkok for dental care, and now they prefer to go to Phnom Penh because the quality is better and also the price is cheaper than in Thailand. So with this growth of dental tourism, specialized medical tourism agency, they have opened such as Dental Holidays Cambodia that organizes dental treatment inclusive of pre-arranged treatment plan with the price, costs, and the package, including local accommodations and transport. So for those who are looking for dental treatment or even look for the consultation, perhaps you can look into the Cambodia and see whether that meets your price as well as meets your expectation when it comes to dental care. So that's it for our ASEAN Dailies today. Look for us at DrianASEAN.com, as well as we do have our 4 other social channels such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And do not forget to download our TuneIn app when you're on the go, so then you can listen us live from 8 to 10 a.m. and also our replays as well.